When thumbing through YouTube, what did suddenly appear? But a unique and bold crafter with new ideas to cheer.
It's time to get things lit with a delightful giant candy garland that's really off the chain.
A lighted candy cane chain. I bought this set of 50 warm white mini LED lights at Walmart. It was $3.68 for the package. The cord is almost 9 or 10 feet long, so it's a great length for a garland to go on a tree, and this is how I'm going to use it. Here is my set of LED light, and I'm using these clear corsage boxes that I got at a wholesale florist place, which I think you can see. It's a long corsage box. It's about 9 inches long by 5 inches wide and 4 inches in depth. And these come in all different shapes and sizes, so you can choose whatever you like. I think I bought these about 30 years ago. This is something that also works really well for birthday parties, special celebrations, things like that, where you want to have a candy theme. Now, what I'm going to be using is rolls of cellophane. So I have actually 7 different colors, including this really pretty blue. And these rolls are approximately 24 inches long. And I'm going to be cutting them 20 by 24. So I'm going to bring that up to my line on the table. And I'm going to roll this, my little roll, to the edge. Whoops. I'm going to put my ruler along this bottom edge. And I'm going to take a straight edge and just slice into the paper all the way across. Make sure that you're holding onto your ruler so that it doesn't slip and you tear the paper. But there is basically a perfect little piece. And I'm going to take this box now and lay it down in the center of that piece. Now, I'm going to use clear box tape, but you can use regular clear Scotch tape. I like the box tape because it's wider, and this is what I'm going to be doing. So make sure you have your box in the center and bring this over and let it overlap about 1 inch or 2, but not more than that, because we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and there has to be enough slack for this to be able to wrap comfortably, just like that, okay? And after doing this for so many years, I did figure out probably the best way to do it for longevity. I'm going to be using this iridescent ribbon that I got at Walmart. This was one of those spools. It's 12 feet, so 4 yards. And it was, I think, around $2 for the spool. And I'm going to be doing 15-inch lengths. You can do 16, you can do whatever you want, but this is how this is going to work. And you can pre-cut all of that, of course, in advance, so that you don't have to stop in the process and make all your cuts. So one thing I'd suggest is cut as many of the cellophane pieces as you think you're going to need, as many of your ribbons as you think you're going to need, and then assembling it all comes really pretty easy. I'm just going to gather this right here, and I'm going to take my ribbon and pull it tight. That's it. You can tie a bow if you want to. I'm not going to, but for demonstration purposes, because I always get so excited and just want to get started, I never do all the prep work that I should do. So I'm going to pull that tight in there, and now you can see we have a lighted candy, which is fantastic. I love these things. So let me show you this. This part right here is open, and that's not vital, so you could take another piece or just regular Scotch tape, and I'm going to do this for demonstration purposes, and go ahead and seal that up if that really bothers you. But do it lightly, and here is the reason why. Even with this one small piece of tape here, I could easily cut that piece of tape. But if it's not there, all I have to do is untie the ribbons on both ends, and the box opens up and the lights come right out of it. The box is intact. The cellophane is still taped to the clear box itself. So all you have to do is take that same box and put it around your string of lights and use the same ribbon to tie it on a new string of lights, and you're good to go. So if you want to be able to use your candy chain for years and years and years, or a decade, use the LED lights and don't do anything to tie this on or attach it permanently, and you'll be a lot happier. The next step is just to continue cutting my cellophane in my 7 different colors and adding them on the chain. I'm starting with my green now. You know, there are really no rules to this. I'm skipping about 2 lights here, so there's a good amount of room in between so that this cellophane isn't too encumbered. By the way, I like this organza ribbon because really it's double-sided. This is pretty long. I like the look of it, but you could make them a little shorter. Just be sure you don't make them so short that you can't tie it comfortably. And also, make sure that your lights are more or less centered in the box when you tie them. Avoid a problem later. You can put them as close together or as far apart as you want them to go. I have actually ended up skipping 3 lights in between, and that looks like a pretty good amount. You still have your lighted ends. That's pretty fun. And there is no rule to how you need to do this or what color scheme you need to use to do it. You can put the colors in any order. Just use a couple of colors. Do pink, blue, and purple if you have more of that pastel theme. These are very saturated colors, but once they're on the tree and once they're lit, they do soften a bit. I think the next color I'm gonna put on is red.
What colors do you use for your Christmas tree?
This is the last color on my 9-foot chain. I decided to cut these at 12 inches after I realized there's just so much ribbon and I wasn't getting as much out of it as I wanted to. Now here, I have 2 lights left on the end that are kind of sticking out. That's fine, doesn't matter. But a little tip, I started with my first color, blue, and I didn't leave any lights on the outside of this, just the plug where I can connect another strand of garland. I think that in hindsight, it would have been okay to leave at least 1 light out on this end, and I'll be sure and do that on my next one. Then there'll only be a couple of lights out on that end, and it all works out nicely. Here is our 9 to 10 foot long candy chain. I'm gonna do 2 of these for my new giant treat tree, and I think this looks great. It's a really easy craft that anyone can do. It has a lot of impact. It's a lot of fun. Kids will love it. Adults will love it. It'll look great on the tree. It'll look great in a window. It'll look great over a door or swagged on a staircase. All sorts of possibilities. So grab some cellophane, order some corsage boxes, and get going.